And a warm welcome here ahead of qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Normally these streets are lined with vehicles, it's non-stop traffic jams, but today the roads are closed to everyone except the 20 best drivers in the world. It's time for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Goodbye for now then, but really we're just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow. And a warm welcome to you from Azadlik Square, heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. Baku's city circuit then. It's an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and Jack Doohan completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Russell, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Hamilton, Albon, Stroll, Bottas, Tsunoda, Gasly, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Sargent, Hülkenberg, and Zhou Guanyu. Now it's almost time for Lights Out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say they've got the better of them more often than not. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
Escape DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Oh mate, great stuff. You hit that target. That sets us up nicely for the rest of this race. Oh, superb driving. That is the race win, my friend. Well done.
Jack is back, ladies and gentlemen, on the top step of the podium. Jack Doohan wins.
Well, another race victory today, and you can clearly see they're starting to believe in themselves more and more. You get to a stage, Crofty, where you become very hard to beat as a driver when you keep putting in performances like this one.
Here come today's winning drivers, and what a race this was. This is a team that knows success very well in F1, and they're just itching for even more. Congratulations to the Alpine team for their excellent win today. Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one. As night falls in Singapore, the track starts to warm up, and it'll be red hot by the time we find out who's on pole for tomorrow's race. Time to set the grid then. Welcome along to qualifying here in Singapore. With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. Things have changed slightly around the Marina Bay circuit with 4 corners removed between turns 16 and 19. It means the lap length is now just over 3 miles, and that might come as a welcome relief to the drivers, and more especially their brakes. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Jack Doohan lines up on pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Leclerc, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Hamilton, Perez, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Albon, Gasly, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Sargent, and Zhou Guanyu. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about this afternoon, and who's going to talk about it with us? None other than Naomi Schiff. Hi, Naomi. I don't know about you, Ant, but it seems like only a couple of weeks ago we were talking ahead of the first race. Here we are, ahead of the last race. This year has just flown by.
The one thing that's going to be going through every single one of these drivers' minds is that they want to end the season on a high. Because let's not forget, the winter period will feel really long if they don't. Now, some of them may have had a great season, but they still want to end it on a high. For those who maybe had a slightly more difficult year, this could be their last opportunity to turn things around.
Right, this championship is still alive and there's still a chance we can win it. So get out there and bring the title home. Come on! DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Oh, you are my hero! You're my hero, you've done it! All of that work has come down to this, and you are the world champion. Great stuff.
And so the celebrations begin, and well-earned they are indeed. It might have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level at the very top is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. And it's victory today for Jack Doohan. As today's winners make their way up the podium steps, the folks at Alpine have shown once again just what it takes to build a successful Formula One team. A well-deserved win for them. So let's celebrate the end of the season, but I know a lot of you will be very sad out there thinking, what are you going to do without Formula One? Don't worry, folks, it'll be back before you know it. We'll see you next year.